Hello everyone. In today's video, I got 12 tips to help you get into Onyx. And in today's video, we're reviewing some platinum level gameplay. If you guys have any videos you would like me to review, I'm looking to review some bronze, silver, and gold gameplay. Please reach out to me if you have any of this gameplay and want to share it with me. Tip number 1, map control. You need to spread out and hold the majority of the map. Imagine the map as 4 quadrants. You and your team need to be holding at least 2 of those quadrants. To hold main map control and be able to dictate the course of the game, you need to hold at least 3 quadrants. Tip number 2, don't stat play. Jumping into a fight hot will almost always net in a trade, and worse, sometimes just a death. You should have maintained high ground and cover, picking the first person off before focusing on the second. Tip number 3, decision making. You never thought, who is going to be behind me when I'm jumping out? It was clear that they may have control of this half of the map and possibility of the remaining 2 teammates being on Cafe or top A. Tip number 4, prioritize power weapons. Now this was a great play. You clearly realized your team was down and you forced spawn in a safe area. Great play there. Combined with timing your push onto the rockets until after downing an enemy, you now know that you have a numbers advantage. You were a little fast to run down mid without checking towards PD or tires, but you secured the rockets regardless. Tip number 5, now that you secure the power weapon, you need to hold 1 quadrant with that. The point of the power weapon is to shift the momentum of the match. You had rockets and didn't die in the most vulnerable area of the map. Why did you return? You should have held Cafe in purple and secured 2 easy kills with the rockets. Tip number 6, fight with numbers. Your enemy had a setup and you were down 2 teammates. Do not engage. Hold your position, poke, and wait for numbers to make an advance. Tip number 7, you secured the numbers advantage and made the fight a 3v2. Ball was right in front of you and you had full shield. You need to push hard on this advantage. You could have grabbed the ball and snagged a few needed seconds or completely shattered their setup and forced spawns to C. Instead, you moved away from the objective and allowed the enemy to breathe. Tip number 8, throw the objective out. If your setup is going to break, throw the ball and make it hard to get for the enemy, allowing you a chance to challenge the possession upon spawning. Your team failed to set up and you failed to rotate. You stayed in PD with no cover from your teammates and you should have rotated back to A. This would have allowed you to toss the ball to bottom mid once you lost numbers advantage and you realized the setup was going to be broken. Guys, if you're still watching the video, that means you must have enjoyed it. Make sure you become a subscriber. Tip number 9, don't hero play. You can't win a 4v1 consistently, so don't try to. If you are at a disadvantage, back down and stay alive. A Spartan alive is worth more than an enemy dead in most scenarios. Tip number 10, map awareness. You need to try to visualize where everyone is at any given point on the map. Given the information here, it was clear 1 went purple and maybe 1 or 2 were bottom C. Where are the other 2? The only place they could have been was behind you. I read this play like a book, and a simple mistake like this can cascade to further losses within the match. Tip number 11, don't hold W. Now this is a term that applies to mouse and keyboard users, but applies to anyone really. Holding W means running straight off spawn with no objective in mind. Clearly plan your next objective and act accordingly off spawn. Running straight into a losing fight will net you more deaths. Enemy spotted. An enemy more time. Tip number 12, and I'm so guilty of this one, but you need to stop prematurely reloading. How many times have you lost a fight because you reloaded a little too early? In this case, the Bulldog still had 3 bullets, which is more than enough to secure the kill. This mistake cost him a death and netted him no damage and gave the enemy a Bulldog with more ammo. Not reloading and backing down would have potentially allowed you to at least damage the enemy, if not killing them, giving you a double kill and a good advantage. That's all we got for today, guys. As always, rest well and keep slaying.